What's going on, everybody? Realized that I hadn't done an in a bag probably ever. With all the changes I made with the Gateway Editions, I figured it'd be a good time to kind of break it down what I'm throwing. My bag is definitely set now. I don't see myself making many more changes, but I'm always open to try new discs out and see how they fit. So first, you can see I'm back in the AGL Yellowstone bag. I love it. Plenty of storage on each side. Upper pocket, good for the putters too. Comes with a stool. I got the Mojo riser attached to it. Makes it easy to carry around, keeping the bottom out of the mud. Really easy on the back because you don't have to bend over as much. So we'll start with the putters, my putting putters. So the main disc what I putt with is the AGL Madrone. These are in a woodland plastic. Flight number is 3301. Kind of low glide putter. Has a slight thumb track on the top. They fit in the hand good. I've putted with a lot of putters over the years. These I've kind of been putting for like the last 4 years now. They stuck with it. This one's a little bit softer, a little more grip. It's a little more firm. Then for longer range putts or Anheuser, need to go around a corner. I got a really soft Woodland Ponderosa. Super beat in. I know when I throw it, it's going to go to the right. Or a really long putt that I need a lot of glide. Then onto the throwing putters. My understable slot is the Gateway Shaman. 3-3-1-1. I got this one in diamond plastic. Really good for a lot of these wooded courses in North Carolina. Understable. Throw it flat, it's going to go to the right. I've had a couple of ace runs with it at a few holes. Hit the basket on 12 at Chimney Hills maybe a month ago. Sooner or later this will get me an ace in Wellspring, I'm pretty sure. The next, my neutral putter, used for just throwing straight shots, or if I need to put on line, it's just the regular Chief. Super Glow 3301. Shallow disc, just like the Shaman. Perfect, fits in a hand. I can get a lot of zip on it. Pretty much dead straight. Use it somewhat regularly for wooded shots. It's my kind of my go-to. And then for a stable putter, the Chief OS, Nina's Tour Series. It's metal flake. It's more stable than the Chief. I can give it a little bit of Anheuser and it'll still fade out. All three plastics are great for throwing, even in the wet. They're not too slick. I guess I'm kind of used to this style, but because of the shallow profiles, I'm able to grab the rim and give it a good shot. All right, utility approach, whatever you want to call it, is the Baobab from above ground level. First time I threw this disc, it was kind of weird. If you've never thrown a Baobab, it has a Stego top and a Shaman bottom, I believe. This was in woodland plastic. I've had it since near the launch with the Grove stamp from Disc Golf Dude. Definitely my favorite disc. I think I have 3 or 4 aces with it. Inside of 200. Forehand, backhand, rollers. Rollers can go for days sometimes. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but all around utility disc. I use it for a ton of shots. It is definitely a workhorse. On the mid ranges, my understable slot is an Alpine Hemp Magnolia team stamp from the AGL. I've had this in the bag for quite a while. It's beat in perfect. It'll hold a line when I give it to Annie and ride for days. A lot of glide. It's just becoming that perfect understable mid slot. My stable mid is a Prophecy from Gateway. Metal flake. It's got good grip. It's more stable than the Magnolia. Similar flight, but it will finish at the end. So with them two, I kind of cover a lot of the shots that I would need. This one I've just gotten maybe 3 months ago, but I was hooked. Took it to Springwood the first day I got it. They will throw it straight. The last 50 feet of the flight is fading to the left. Perfect. Definitely a go-to for mine. My overstable forehand disc. So I was using a Beacon from Full Turn. I clipped a basket with it and took a big gash out, and I haven't replaced it. So I went back to the disc I was using before, which is the AGL Beach. Super overstable. Primarily use it for forehands. Every now and then I need a backhand shot with it, but stable. Really good disc, Willen plastic, so it's beat in to where I can still get enough glide and I have the grip that I need when I need it. On to the fairway slot. I bagged 4 fairway drivers. My understable fairway, you can see it's heavily used from the mud the other day, is a 167 Money Tree from AGL. It's very understable. I can throw it on hyzer, it'll flip up and ride to the right still. Good for these technical wooded shots. This is another one that when I bagged it, I needed something to go with my more stable and neutral fairways. So I went right in the bag, and I kind of loved it ever since. This one is, so I got, the next set is 3 Locusts. So they're all slightly different. This is the prototype run of Locust that they were straight out the gate. I have several backups with this one. This one is now beat in slightly enough where it will drift to the right. I'll use it for a lot of control shots, control driver. So to go with that is the other Airwolf Locust, which is a tick up more stable than it. Just doesn't quite have the same amount of throws that I've used that one since it came out with. So this one goes straight, but it still will finish. But it still has a good amount of glide. Then my most stable Locust, greasy dye on it. It's stable, gives you it's a good 9-speed. They're all 9.4, -1.3 for these. They've just been different age of wear. This is the one that you can pretty much, I was able to get several stock ones. Perfect flight for a lot of the shots. Around 300 I like it. 300 to 350 you can kind of squeeze it in there for some shots. I can throw them all forehand, backhand. Very useful. Probably my favorite fairway on the market, the Locust. And my next drivers are the one of the Gateway's newest discs, the Aura. So I got the yellow one and the blue one. The blue one is more understable. Flat, it's going to go to the right and not really come back out unless you get enough height on it. The yellow one is similar to the Realm, but it has a little more glide and it'll fly a little straighter in its flight path before finishing. Now, these two have fit in perfectly. They were kind of what I was missing from the bag, and now I think it gives me almost every shot that I need. And then I have 2 Realms, one in NXT plastic, one in diamond. The NXT one's a little more straight. The diamond will finish a little bit better. They're a good complement. I can throw them forehand, backhand. That's my main distance driver for a lot of the shots I'll throw. And then when I need a little more juice, I have the Spell in NXT plastic. Super overstable. I feel like everybody needs to have like a crazy overstable driver that you can still get enough power on and it'll go. I use it a lot for forehands, or if it's a big headwind, rip it in the backhand. I know it's going to finish. It's 12.503, so it really gives you enough stability to fight a lot of conditions. In the NXT plastic, as I have most of the Gateway drivers in, at least one of them, it is almost exactly what I want out of a plastic. And then, last but not least, the Kevin Fawdry Signature Series Blade. This red run is super beef. It's another disc I was missing along with the understable distance drivers. It's one that I can throw as hard as I want, even on Anheuser, and it's gonna finish hard. One of the most stable discs I've ever thrown. Like I said, primarily this red run. I know some of the other runs aren't quite as stable, but if you need something really beefy for a 9-speed, his Tour Series, the red run. And that's it for the discs. Well, that's my bag. For both AGL and Gateway, you can use my code JAWA, J-A-W-A, to get a discount on whatever you need. All these discs I highly recommend. So even though I'm not the strongest thrower, these get me everything I need. From super stable all the way to understable in each set. From distance drivers, fairways, mids, putters. Gateway really has their lineup rounded out now. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them with some of the other bigger brands. But with their newest additions, I have everything I need. Hopefully that'll translate into some more wins this year. I did get my first win with Gateway earlier in the year. So let's hope with all this extra practice rounds I'm getting in, that we'll put up some more wins for the end of the year. So be sure to like and subscribe. I got all my sponsors listed in the description. The best way to support me is to support them, so I can keep doing fun stuff like this. Have a good one.